It is really.
Elaine, we ready to bring this back into session?
Let's bring it right back into session. We already opened the meeting, so we'll just go right to whatever's next, which is acceptance of minutes that are already there. Okay.
Minutes. Reports. I don't have anything for the meeting. I don't know if anybody else does up here.
Nothing, I have nothing, sir.
Nothing for the update?
No.
Nice.
Wow.
My minutes are getting easier and easier.
Busy.
If there's no public comments, I'm really in good shape.
Any public comments on agenda items? Public comments on agenda items?
Sure.
Jim?
I just have two comments. First, I've actually expressed this to you, Supervisor, but I am very concerned about there being two public hearings within 5 days of each other, one on Tuxedo Farms on the 9th, and the other on the casino on the 5th. And that is a huge job.
Fourth,
I mean, sorry, the 4th.
And the date.
That's a huge job for people who are concerned about these developments to actually review both the plans. And I don't know if at this point whether the planning board has received a list of changes that are being proposed by Tuxedo Farms to the previous special permit or not, and if so, have these been made public? But in any case, there was some concern about this, and there was some possibility that the planning board might postpone the December 9th meeting, but I haven't heard that it had been postponed. So I think these are too close together. They're between Thanksgiving and Christmas, when everybody is busy. These are really important, very important to the town, both of them. They're huge. I mean, this may well be the last event for Tuxedo Farms. From then on, the dynamite goes off and bulldozers roll, and whatever happens will end up being the responsibility of you guys and the planning board. Whatever decisions were made before, okay, but the final decision will be this board and the planning board. And I think it's really important not to rush this through. Thank you. Well, one other thing. I think at this meeting, or at this board, someone on this board, I believe at one point said that the security, the law enforcement security within the casino would be handled by the state police, and there'd be a private security force hired by the casino operator. But I failed to find any letter in Appendix Q of the DEIS from the state police saying that they have accepted this responsibility. Have they accepted that responsibility? Is there a letter?
Not that we know of, that's a question we have as well.
All right, so at this point, the state police are not taking that responsibility.
We don't know.
We don't know.
No, but they have not committed to it, so they have not taken it.
We have nothing that tells us that.
All right, so nobody knows that they've taken that responsibility.
No,
Okay, thank you.
That's one of our questions as well. I don't know if the planning board is having a hearing on the Tuxedo Farms. I wasn't sure that I heard that. We're having a hearing related to water, sewer, and park districts related to that project, but there's nothing really, I don't think they're different than...
That's on the 8th, right?
That's on the 8th. It was on the 8th that they had got some additional material that we thought were defective, which I saw at least one of already. So that might be postponed, but that's not, that doesn't relate to any kind of final approval of the project. These are just parts of things that they're required to do by the existing special permit. So they're not major issues.
That's just setting the districts up.
Yeah, just setting districts, the big stuff on that's yet to come and won't come during this period, I don't believe.
Christie?
I wanted to somewhat reiterate what Jim was saying, but specifically about the public hearing with the casino on the 4th. Yet again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I think this thing is being pushed through very quickly. It's your responsibility to ensure that this is our chance basically to review this document and make sure the town is protected. I understand the consultants have been looking through it. You know, we have a bunch of people that are skilled in the town and also have local knowledge, which is something that is goes above and beyond their professional expertise. And it's just the time period for doing this whole review is very short. Additionally, a number of times, and at least at one public hearing, I believe that it was promised that the public would be allowed a meeting with the town's hired consultants in order to have some dialogue. You know, as you know, the public hearings are pretty one-sided. People get up, they speak their piece, and then they sit down. There's no question and answer going on. And I think that it's really important to have an opportunity to talk with the consultants about their views in it and have some sort of opportunity to really understand, you know, to come up with questions and have those questions addressed and, you know, really understand sort of what the details are in order to come to those concerns, things that are not addressed. I think, you know, the document's 8 inches thick. It's not something that can be reviewed by anybody in a short amount of time. So I hope that there's a possibility to have a consultant meeting. I hope that it happens, you know, before the public hearing is probably not possible, but, you know, during the review process before it closes on the 19th, or maybe you could possibly extend the review process, which is, I think, a more ideal situation. I do have one question in regards to the public hearing. If it happens that there are a lot of people that show up and want to speak, and it looks like it's going to be a 5-hour-long meeting, what happens?
Well, if there's a couple of things. One, if obviously everybody needs to have a chance to talk. So if we can't have everybody speak that night, there would be another hearing that's scheduled.
Okay.
And we've said that as we move forward with this process, if we need more time, we'll look at doing what we have to do to make sure that all of our questions are answered. Okay?
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I don't understand why the review process has to be finished by December 19th. As far as I know, you're not under any legal obligation to do so. And there are really 3 holidays at play. And also, as I have heard, I haven't seen it, but I've heard that it's about 6 or 7 inches thick, the document. That's it, okay? And I don't think that includes the appendices, but maybe it does. But there's no way that anybody here could have read this, even in the amount of time we've had now. Certainly at the last board meeting, there was nobody who could have read it by then. So there are good people who are giving up their work time and their home time who want to read that and want to be able to understand what could possibly happen forever to the town of Tuxedo. I really think that you should give them the chance to review it, and the amount of time that they have really isn't enough. And I get back to the question of why this date, December 19th, why not January 19th? It's not going to change anything. If you're talking about changing Tuxedo forever, it's worth another month.
Michelle?
I also have to express those concerns because there were a group of people that wanted to get together to try and go through the documents and understand it and just see, you know, how to find information. And so many people got back and they wanted to work through it, but with the holidays and the traveling, you know, they just don't know, you know, they just can't come to these meetings. So that we try to set up, much less the meetings, you know, the public meetings. So, you know, it only seems to be for the benefit of Genting that this timetable is being put in place. It certainly is not for any benefit of the Tuxedo residents. It's only for their benefit because they want to start their construction in January. So it just doesn't seem fair at all. I mean, and in September, you talked about having a meeting with the consultants so we could have a dialogue instead of the black hole where we send emails asking questions and never get answers. I mean, we just never get answers. we submit questions. We don't know, that we assume that the questions have been read, but we don't get any answers back.
Well, if you look at the scoping document that was put together, I think it was evident in there that the information that you sent in, we definitely pass along to the consultant.
Yeah, but why were things not included that were submitted?
Well, not
We never
everything
got-
that you included is going to be.
Yeah, but why? We never got that rationale.
You want to know why they didn't put it in? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying if we had a meeting with consultants, we could have understood better, why this was important, but this wasn't. And somebody who thinks their issue is important and it's not in the scoping document, they have no understanding of why their issue wasn't included, except for the fact that obviously somebody didn't think it was important.
Right.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm aware of any issues that weren't included. I think we, tried to include all the comments that we got, and we thought we were pretty successful. So, I
All right,
hear
I'll
you.
get you a list of
If you want.
issues. Sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That'll help us make sure we've covered everything that's part of it.
But wouldn't it be great if we could actually talk and have a dialogue? Why not? There are consultants. They're for the benefit of the town residents. One question, are we being limited to 3 minutes? There's obviously so much that people want to say, and about hundreds of pages of documents, and to limit people to 3 minutes also doesn't seem fair. And the Poughkeepsie people were given 5 minutes.
Okay, fair point. I don't have an answer right now. She just made the point. That,
Yeah,
we have been using 3 minutes, but if you think it needs to be more, we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
I just wanted to read out, on Friday, Governor George Pataki issued a statement about the Sterling Forest Resort. It wasn't widely reported in the press. It was published in the Albany Times Union today and in the Journal News online. And in case you have not heard it, I want to read it out. He wrote, "Throughout my 12 years as governor, one of my highest priorities was the preservation of open space and New York's unique natural treasures. Working with environmental groups, federal, state, and local leaders, we protected over 1 million acres for the enjoyment of future generations. One of the earliest and most important priorities of my administration was the protection of Sterling Forest. In 1998, President Clinton, Speaker Gingrich, Governor Whitman, and a variety of public and private organizations joined with the state in a historic agreement to create Sterling Forest State Park. Protecting Sterling Forest was an incredibly important achievement as the park locks and binds the Highlands region, secures drinking water for millions, and provides a vast wild habitat only an hour's fast drive from New York City. Now the integrity of this achievement is threatened by a bid from Genting Americas to build a casino resort in the middle of Sterling Forest State Park. In spite of a vigorous public relations effort to portray the project as environmentally benign, or incredibly, as environmentally beneficial, I have grave concerns that this project and its projected 7 million visitors would wreak havoc on Sterling Forest. The license granted to a casino in Sterling Forest would undo the bipartisan efforts that created Sterling Forest, and most importantly, create an unacceptable risk to New York and New Jersey drinking water. As I wrote in 1995, the potential destruction of a watershed and outdoor recreation area for some 26 million people who live within 2 hours of Sterling Forest is much too high a price. The argument is the same today. No amount of tax revenue, licensing fees, or pledges of community support can offset the risks this project poses to our state.
I'll give you a copy. Apparently the governor sent it to the,
We're aware of it.
okay, would you like a copy?
I'll take one, thanks. Thank you.
If anybody else wants a copy, I have some. Thank you.
Any other comments? Item number 1, resolution to schedule annual public hearing on the 2015 Woodland sewer charges. I'd like to make a motion that the town board hereby schedules the annual public hearing on the 2015 Woodland sewer charges at 7:30 on Monday, December 22nd at the Tuxedo Town Hall. We want to say it would be the 8th.
December what?
December 8th. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
Any changes this year, do we know?
Gary. Yeah.
Did they have any changes this year?
They're proposing a 2% increase.
Oh my goodness, and all the times I've been
Never done
covering
it
this
in,
practice, never
I
happened.
can't even think of how many years.
That's why he's not here.
What?
That's why he's not
That's
here.
why it's not, right, it's always here to take a bow for the other day.
It's got a 2% increase.
Is that United Water?
That's why it's not 1% increase.
What, the United Water?
Yeah, I mean, they're out of control.
Yeah, it's really insane.
Just a reminder, the public hearing regarding the resort casino DEIS special use permit will be 7 o'clock Thursday, December 4th at the Tuxedo High School. Reminder that the acceptance of the written public comments for the DEIS are open until 3 p.m. on Friday, December 19th. They should go to the town clerk.
Are you not going to reconsider that time again? No,
We took your input tonight, and like I said, if we
and
feel
you
that,
decided that it didn't matter?
I didn't say that.
No, because you just announced the dates.
Definitely December 4th right now is a hearing. And right now, the date for the closing would be the 19th. We haven't decided to change that date right now. Any other business? Any more public comment? Vouchers?
All right, actually, so I'm videotaping this session just to tell everybody. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I've had a number of people ask me basically to do so. A lot of people can't attend the meetings because of childcare and other issues. So it will be published on YouTube. That's what I'm doing for now. My suggestion, I know you guys are looking at doing a cable, I guess getting like a Tuxedo cable channel. I know a lot of other towns that have used PG Central and have published on-demand sort of streaming video. I haven't looked. I was going to look into the prices for this. I was actually told it was Warwick the other day to do it, but I just couldn't get it. I'm suggesting this is a better alternative. I have a feeling it might be cheaper. I don't know what the cable issue is. I don't know what I don't know what the costs are, but you're still restricted according to what their schedule is, and I don't know, it's just something that I think might be a better option.
We have that. Actually, when we got the cable grant, we purchased some streaming capabilities. We just have to stand it up.
Okay.
That can use the internet, so we can bypass the restrictions on the television. The thing that's the problem over there is it's analog. And when you turn it into digital, you do 16:9 format. We're 4:3 over there. And I got to convert everything to get it to do that, so it's very difficult, and that box costs around $9,000. So.
That was a $100 camera.
Yeah, yeah, so, we're working on getting that, and we absolutely have the equipment right now to perform streaming tomorrow. If we can get somebody to help me with it, I can't do it by myself.
The other thing that I was thinking, sort of part and parcel of that, is that I don't know if Tuxedo has an AV, like high school program, but Monroe does. And I know that there's some students in my neighborhood actually who are part of the AV club who I think, if you could work out something.
If you would send me their information, I'd be more than happy to reach out to them. And I'm going to bring the equipment here next week, and we could all learn how to work it together. It's a lot of stuff. It's $15,000 worth of stuff. There's a black magic box, there's a digital switcher, everything is in there. 3-camera shoot capability, all in a backpack. So it can be remote and on-site anywhere you want to go really easy.
All right, good, okay, those kids. I mean, I think it would be interesting, not only from the perspective of like utilizing technology in order to, but also getting kids interested.
I absolutely agree, absolutely.
We've already talked to schools about that.
So there's stuff over there too? Okay.
Well, we've talked to them, but we haven't gotten any answer from them.
They're waiting for us to get going with it.
Well, we're ready now.
Okay.
So, but still, you have some kids over there that would like to become involved, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Just have them contact me, get my email. I'll definitely work with them as soon as possible. Okay?
One more thing. I read CBF posts that Dan Castro talked about the whole Monroe annexation issue, and I have to, I'm completely agreeing with everything that he said on this. I think this is for, especially for people in the Monroe School District, this is a big deal. But also for everybody, it can really affect our county taxes in a pretty serious way. We follow what happened in Rockland. They're in a pretty sad state right now. Their school district is sort of decimated. So, you know, this is a big deal, and I think that, you know, for the purposes of some solidarity with the rest of Tuxedo, we should make that a priority. So I talked to Dan about it.
Just so you know, I called Dan and spoke to him the day after and asked him to give me any help in letting me know when meetings are. I'll help him in any way possible, and I'm happy to go to the meetings. However, I only have one more year left to my term and don't know what's going on after that. Obviously, I'm elected, so there's other people here also who have longer parts of their term, and it may go longer than my 1 year term. But I did reach out to Dan immediately after that, the next day.
Okay, great. And I mean, I'll be proud to participate in those meetings too, so, you know, you know what's going on.
Feel free to, as you know, my number here.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Any other comments?
You may know this, so it's perhaps redundant, but I believe today or very recently the Gaming Facilities Location Board has scheduled its final meeting for the 17th of December, at which time it will make a decision on which locations it selects, which will be passed on to the Gaming Commission. The Gaming Commission, of course, could override it, but it seems unlikely that they would. I don't know about that. But I don't know whether that's important in your decisions about public hearings and all that.
Thank you. Sean?
When would you consider these requests that we brought up tonight?
I mean, if we wouldn't consider them anymore tonight, we'd probably talk about it tomorrow.
I didn't know if you had to do it during the public hearing, public meeting. Do we have an update on the conservation easement? All the land that was supposed to go into conservation before any construction started on Tuxedo Farms? Do we have an update on that?
There's not a final update. I know that there has been discussion between Andrew and the attorneys. It has to take place. I mean, so.
Good. And then I had a question. I can't seem to get the answer. I don't know if I'm calculating it correctly. The Village of Tuxedo tax revenues comprise 42% of the total tax receipts.
I don't have any of that. I sent you an email on that. It didn't answer the question.
You said it was Fun Day or something like that, but I just, that didn't help me answer the question.
Well, I don't have the stuff in front of me right now, so I can't give you an answer, but I'd be more than happy to get in touch with you tomorrow, because I thought that when I sent you the email, I didn't hear back from you that you were good with the answer.
Oh, yeah, no, it didn't
Okay.
help.
Roger?
Yeah, does the mulch pile continue to operate now without a contract?
They have their existing contracts in place. I'm in negotiations. with them. I've drafted up something to be considered, but there's still a process that needs to be done. I was in contact with DEC personnel, and they're following up by issuing them a violation and scheduling them for a hearing on that violation. So I think it will precipitate things to go forward.
They do continue to pile.
The reports I'd seen said the piles were coming down. Mine are from the state, so
When all goes down, the logs are up.
yeah.
Any prognostication?
Well, it's hard to prognosticate about that kind of stuff.
The town has a difficult time handling the mulch pile. You can imagine what will happen with them.
You better trust them because they are a force. I mean, compared to a mulch pile operator, it's not going to be a picnic.
No, it's not an easy process either. We just can't flip the switch on them. We have to follow the legal path the proper way. As much as we're motivated to react just as you are, we still have these legal things in the way, so.
Any other comments? Do we have the vouchers? What's that?
The resolution. Oh, I have you in there.
Which is it?
What is it?
Okay. All right.
I happen to have.
We should have adjourned. Where's this guy? Just go to adjourn? Is that what you're saying? You just told me I couldn't.
Couldn't. You said you wanted the voucher, so I did.
Here we go.
I just happen to have it filled in with your name.
Well, I didn't see the voucher, but usually. Vouchers. To make a motion that the following vouchers having been audited by the town board are hereby approved for payment. Claim number is 8008 through 8067. Second? Second. All in favor? Aye.
I'm going to abstain. They're going to come in tomorrow and look at them. I think, okay, I looked at them. Dave looked at them.
Motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.